I'm Joey Martin, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to our annual ceremony celebrating the outstanding students from the College of Fine Arts and Communication. The Council of Scholars is an honor society recognizing students who have earned a place in the Dean's List, maintaining a 3.5 GPA for 3 consecutive semesters. Out of approximately 5,200 majors in our college, we celebrate 1,100 students a day. That means roughly 20% of our students have earned the privilege of induction into this prestigious society. I'm especially pleased to share that the number of honorees continues to grow. As scholars, you serve as ambassadors for both the college and the university. You truly are the creme de la creme. Founded in 1988, the Council of Scholars celebrates its 38th anniversary this year. Each spring, we gather for this induction ceremony, a tradition designed to honor your consistent record of academic excellence. Today's ceremony has been thoughtfully planned for you and your families as a reflection of how proud we are of your achievements. It will culminate in the pinning and your official induction to the Council. On behalf of the College of Fine Arts and Communication, welcome. It's now my pleasure to recognize several individuals who play an important role in supporting our scholars' success. First, please join me in welcoming our special guest, Dean Valerie Holmes, Associate Vice President for Student Success and Dean of Students. Next, I ask that all faculty and staff from the College of Fine Arts and Communication to please stand so we can recognize you. I would also like to acknowledge the Dean's Office staff whose work made today's ceremony possible. Lisa Herman, Sonia Krause, Clarissa Rodriguez, and Kevin Gilly, assistants to the Dean, please stand to be recognized. In addition, we're fortunate to have the support of our associate deans, Dr. Laurie Fluker and Dr. Daniel Carter from the School of Journalism and Mass Communication, and myself representing the School of Music. Finally, I'd like to recognize our chairs and directors. From the Department of Communication Studies with over 500 majors, their incoming chair, Kristen Ferris. From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication, with 2,100 majors, its director, Judy Austin. And last but certainly not least, we invite all family members and friends of our scholars to please stand. Woo-hoo. We're sincerely grateful that you're here to share in this momentous occasion. Our keynote message this afternoon will be delivered by the Dean of the College of Fine Arts and Communication and the only person that speaks faster than I do, Dr. John Fleming. Dr. Fleming has served at the State University for 27 years, including 9 years as the chair of the Department of Theater and Dance, and 12 years as Dean of the College. While his record of teaching, research, and service is exceptional, it is his dedication to students that truly sets him apart. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dean John Fleming.
Thank you, Joey. Thank you. First, as Dean of the College of Fine Arts and Communication, I want to personally welcome all the students, family, friends, faculty, and staff who are here today for this 38th edition of the college's Council of Scholars. Today is a day on which we celebrate excellence, and not just excellence, but sustained excellence. And you got to make this Dean list at least 3 consecutive times. And we actually had to split this into 2 ceremonies. 2 years ago, we had people overflowing sitting on the stage, and the fire marshal told me I couldn't do that. And so then last year, we barely squeezed it in and just got it. So this year, we decided to make it a little bit more comfortable for all of you and split it to do 1 ceremony with the communication side of the college and 1 with the fine arts side of the college. So we're doing this first one with the communication side of it all. And as some of you know, traditionally my speech was in the form of quotation trivia. Are you smarter than a tenured professor? That was a lot of fun, but some of you are back You were here last year, now you're back, and you have an unfair advantage over everyone else on that quotation trivia. It was a lot of fun, but this year, I decided to turn my address into a different direction. I still want to have fun, but this is a little bit more serious. It's also a little bit of a collage of things that I've been thinking about. And before I launch into my main speech, I'm going to digress to briefly reflect on someone I met when I was in graduate school, someone who passed away last fall. So one of the things I did in graduate school is I did research on a theater company in Honduras. And that company was led by Jack Warner. He was a Jesuit priest whose missionary work was running a theater company. Two things we don't usually think of, being a priest and running a theater company. But he did it down there, and Honduras was the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere at that time. But besides its material poverty, Jack went there because it was culturally poor and wanted to build up a cultural sense of identity there. And I remember one day I was walking to the theater in the morning, and I came across a poor child begging. Unfortunately, in Honduras, the sight of a child begging on the street was not uncommon. But as I listened more closely, my Spanish was okay, so when I listened more closely to what he was saying, what was that child asking for? What did he want? He wanted tickets to the theater. Think about that for a moment. He wanted tickets. So sometimes people ask me, do the arts matter in our world? I say, yes, they do. They matter not only to a lot of people, but to this little kid with very little, tickets to the theater was something that mattered to him. Because that night in the theater was going to give him a moment of joy, a respite from the woes of this world, a measure of comfort. Something that the arts can do at times. And while I was there, I was interviewing Jack for a journal article, my first publication to start my academic publishing career. And in the interview, he mentioned a Nicaraguan poet named Ernesto Cardenal. And Cardenal posed the theory, this says, what are a person's 4 basic needs? Just pause and think a moment. What are a person's 4 basic needs? And Cardenal answered it, food, shelter, prayer, and music. Which Jack identified as all these. He's a theater, so he teaches us all these. But food, shelter, prayer, and music. 2 are material, 2 are more abstract. 2 relate to the body, 2 relate more to the human spirit. I mention that because in the context of education, for the students, what we are trying to do with students here is we are trying to give you the skills for a job, but we're also trying to foster growth as a human being, growth as an engaged citizen. And I think both are equally important, developing those job skills and developing those skills to be an engaged citizen. An engaged citizen is the transition to my main speech. And last summer, between June and August, I knew 10 people who died. I told you this was going to be a little bit more serious than the trivia. So I knew 10 people who died. And what's interesting, as I attended the funerals, reminisced and commiserated with the fellow attendees, I looked at the current state of social and political discourse, I became reflective. Of those who died that I knew, some were white, one was black, one was Hispanic, some were straight, some were gay, some were married, some were not, some had children, some did not, some were Democrats, some were Republicans, some on both extremes of those 2 different parties there. One was a child of immigrants, another had been an immigrant himself. Most of them were religious, but a couple were not. And the list goes on. Basically, as I attended those 10 different funerals, some of those people died, which by the fall had grown to 13 because Jack and others had died. In those things, I saw all the ways in which people are divided in society. Many of the ways in which our news outlets, our political systems, our social media algorithms try to sow division, try to rile people, try to cast people with opposing views as the other, as that opposition, someone who needs to be figured and balanced. Yet, at each one of those funerals, I also saw the common humanity. Death is the great equalizer, something shared by all, but in it, it showed me the common humanity. Regardless of all those different divisions, I saw people who were loved and cherished, who left behind people who were going to feel a gaping hole in their lives. And it made me think, as I looked at our news systems, our political systems, our social media, where is that emphasis on common humanity? How do we get back to a place where compromise is not a dirty word? We're reaching across the aisle where the politically, religious, otherwise is not only possible, but the norm. And in some previous settings, I said I felt sorry for this current generation of students, of younger people, because your entire life has probably been spent living in a polarized society. I was in college in the 1980s, grad school in the 1990s. There were political divides, but they were different. In the 80s, Ronald Reagan, the conservative, Tip O'Neill, the liberal, they actually worked together to pass the largest tax cut bill at the time. You had people like Bob Dole on the right, Ted Kennedy on the left. They worked together on these issues and things like that. I'm hard-pressed to think of something similar in your lifetime as students. And likewise, at that time TV news was mostly news and not the opinion shows that run in the evening on networks labeled as news networks. There was no social media run by algorithms, there was no podcast pitched to a predetermined audience. So obviously things have changed. But despite these challenges, I do believe there's a way forward. I have been in leadership positions here at Texas State for over 25 years. Students, I've been in leadership positions longer than you've been alive. That's a realization I always used to know. Well, yeah. Now, at the same time, students, I look at all of you as leaders. You have the academic success shows that you are a leader or can be a leader. And so I'm asking for your help. And so think of the following as leading across the divide or bipartisan leader of polarized age, whatever title you want to put onto it. But as I suggested, we are living in an era where disagreement is often common, but it's often amplified partly because it's monetized. People make money off of these divisions here. It's even weaponized. And most scholars agree that political polarization has reached levels that we've not seen in modern history, and this shapes not only elections, but also friendships, campuses, and even affects families. Yet here you are, college students, future leaders, thinkers, voters, standing at the crossroads. We well know polarization exists. The question is, how do we respond to it? How do we avoid what I think is the pitfall of seeking power at all costs and reducing things to zero-sum game? Now, I fell into leadership. I didn't plan on being a department chair or a dean. I fell into leadership. And I often told people that when leadership was offered to me, I chose leadership as the chair, as a dean, because of influence, not power. I'm not interested in power per se, but I am interested in trying to influence how things are done here at Texas State. I wanted a seat at the table where I had access to those making decisions, as well as being in a position to make decisions myself that I thought could help students, could improve the quality of programs, that could help faculty and students succeed. So today I want to talk a little bit about, I think, effective bipartisan leadership, what it means, why it matters, and how you can embody it in the most divided environments. We live in this time where I think where compromise is often mischaracterized as weakness, cooperation is seen as betrayal, social media rewards outrage, news cycles thrive on conflict, political incentives frequently punish people who try to reach across the aisle. But the danger of partnership is that it often results in big issues not being addressed, of rapid swings back and forth that prevent any sort of sustainable path. So what are the things, students, that affect you and your children? Climate policy, healthcare, education, economic opportunity, the list goes on. Unfortunately, deep polarization often ignores our common humanity, prevents us from trying to find those solutions that are acceptable to a cross-section of views. But it's important that polarization is a condition, it's not a destiny, it's not inevitable. I use that phrase bipartisan leadership, and there's always a danger in getting caught up in trite phrases, empty expressions. But bipartisan leadership is not about abandoning your values. It's not about splitting every issue down the middle. It's certainly not about avoiding hard conversations. As a dean, I have to have some hard conversations. They are not fun, but they are necessary. I've often told people in any difficult conversation, it's not just what you say, but how you say it and when you say it. And all three of those things are important things to take into account as you address the situation. So bipartisan leadership can involve holding firm to your principles while also remaining open to partnership. It's the ability to say, I believe deeply in my perspective, but I also don't have all the answers. And historically, some of the most transformative policies in American life required cooperation across political divides. Texas State alum LBJ, he pushed through the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, the Higher Education Act, Medicare, Medicaid, and other major legislation. So some very difficult, tough bipartisan negotiations. He knew he was going to take a political toll for some of them, but he did it because he thought it was the right thing to do, and he was able to convince others of that. While rare, even today, moments of bipartisan success still emerge, reminding us that collaboration is difficult but not impossible. And a U.S. Senator recently said, if we're going to move forward, we're going to have to do it by standing together. If we want to move forward, we have to do it by standing together. And I deliberately do not mention the politician or the political party, because in that way, you evaluate it on its own merit. Because too often we see, oh, it's a Republican or Democrat, and we instant knee-jerk reaction to whatever it is. So I don't mention this, so we have merit on its own merit. Now, we are here to celebrate your academic success. So why the heck does this dean talk about bipartisan leadership? Well, I care about your future. I really do. And there is a future. What role can you play in fostering a future worth living? Why care about bipartisan? Well, research shows that without it, democracy stalls. Research shows that extreme partisanship leads to policy gridlock, erodes trust in institutions, weakens governance outcomes. In simpler terms, when leaders refuse to work together, problems don't get solved, they get worse. Bipartisan leadership is trying to offer something different. It's trying to build durable solutions that last beyond a simple election cycle. It's trying to foster trust among citizens. It's trying to strengthen democratic legitimacy. And perhaps most importantly, it reflects a deeper truth. No single group has a monopoly on good ideas, not even deans. Now, saying the obvious, bipartisan leadership is not easy. In fact, I would argue it requires more courage than partisanship does. It also requires more restraint. How many social media posts are designed to get a reaction? You're not going to have good conversations on social media. The relative anonymity of social media emboldens people to say things they often wouldn't in a face-to-face environment. Likewise, it's easier to stay in your ideological lane surrounded by people who agree with you. It's much harder to engage with those who challenge you and to do it in a respectful manner. As another unnamed political figure said, effective bipartisanship means prioritizing shared objectives over strict adherence to party platforms. That takes courage. It means risking criticism from your own side. It means listening when you'd rather argue. It means seeking solutions when others seek victory. But that's what leadership demands. So what does bipartisan leadership look like for you right now on a college campus? Say there's about a few core principles. Number one, intellectual humility. The first step towards bridging divides is recognizing that you might be wrong or at least incomplete. College is not just about forming opinions, it's about refining them. Ask yourself, when was the last time I changed my mind? Do I understand opposing viewpoints or just dismiss them? True leaders are not those who never doubt. They are those who learn continuously. A second principle is active listening. Listening is not just waiting for your turn to speak, it's seeking to understand. In a polarized environment, listening becomes a radical act. When someone disagrees with you, resist the urge to judge, to label, or dismiss. Instead, ask, what experiences shape their perspective? What values are they trying to protect? You may still disagree, but hopefully you'll disagree with understanding, not humility. And I have discovered that some of the most extreme reactions often come from a place of fear, from anxiety, from uncertainty. Often attacks on others are a reflection of one's own insecurities. And I have to admit, when I was a young whippersnapper wiseacre of a college student, I went through a phase where if someone said something negative to me or about me, I would respond with something like, thank you. It's been a long time since I've been complimented in such a fine fashion. I don't remember the details, but I recall that instantly diffused the situation. I didn't take the bait, there was no place for the disagreement to go, and it disarmed them. What? I didn't compliment you. Well, I took it as a compliment. What can they say? Perhaps it's not a viable long-term strategy, but at the time it was kind of fun as a college student. Shared intellectual humility, got activism. A third thing would be focus on shared goals. At the beginning, I mentioned how funerals led me to reflect on our common humanity. Despite deep disagreements, I would argue that most people share common aspirations. Most people want safety. They want opportunity. They want fairness. They want a better future. Effective bipartisan leaders focus on those shared goals as a foundation for collaboration. Two senators, one each from each political party, recently suggest that bipartisan work is part of the American covenant. It's a recognition that despite differences, we are part of the same national story. And one of the biggest obstacles to bipartisan leadership is how we define success. Too often, leadership is framed as winning, defeating the other side, dominating the conversation, proving your point. But real leadership is not about winning arguments, it's about solving problems. It may sound cliche, but shifting from winning to trying to solve problems results in different perspective. It can transform your opponents into potential partners. It can turn debates into dialogues. It can replace ego with purpose. It can open the door to innovation. And so looking forward, it's important to remember that the current political climate was not created overnight. It will not be fixed overnight. And when I said I once said sorry for your generation, you also have an opportunity. Hopefully you're not yet locked into rigid ideological identities. Hopefully you are still forming a worldview. I know you still have flexibility to choose how you engage. So on discussion with campus, friends, family, you can choose to escalate the division or try to reduce it. You can choose to dismiss the opposing views or try to engage with it. You can choose to be part of the problem or try to be part of the solution. I also think that empathy and compassion are vitally important. I'm also not a big fan of one strike and you're out. We all make mistakes, errors in judgment, errors in speech. I try to avoid judging people, and I believe in second chances. And I recently learned a fascinating story. Now, this is going back a few years. A student here who was a good student, who then wasn't doing well. They were missing assignments, not turning in their work. Fortunately, the faculty member reached out. What was going on? Turned out this student was living in their car. They lost his. faculty member reached out. There's things to help you. So this student took advantage of the opportunities here at campus and things, got back on track, instead of being flunking out, graduated, went on to masters. Recently, they won a national award for the best 40 under 40 in their field, and if my sources are right, this student really dropped out, was Union University's Rising Star Young Alumni Award for one of the top ones under 40. Empathy, compassion, second chances, a lot of good things can happen if you embrace those things. So let me leave you with a vision. Imagine a generation of leaders who disagree without dehumanizing, who debate without dividing, who lead without alienating. Imagine leaders who measure success not by how loudly they speak, by how effectively they solve problems. Imagine a politics where collaboration is not punished but expected. Some may say, I'm naive, I think it's necessary. The challenges your generation is inheriting, climate change, sustainable healthcare, AI disruption, energy, water scarcity, global conflict, they're too complex for any one ideology to solve alone. They're going to require cooperation, courage. They're going to require leaders like you. And I'll end this portion of the speech with this thought. Bipartisanship is not about erasing differences, it's about bridging them. It's not about abandoning conviction, it's about expanding perspective. It's not about finding easy answers, it's about doing the hard work of listening, understanding, and building together. In a polarized world, division is easy. Leadership is choosing unity, finding shared values, and recognizing our common humanity. I wasn't end there, but I have a quick postscript. It reverts back to funerals. On January 23rd, my mother passed away. It was 9 years to the day that my father had passed away. And my family, my siblings chose the prayer card. And whether you are religious or not, whether you frame it as a prayer or not, I think many of the words that carry good posts for leadership and a life well lived. So where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's offense, let me bring pardon. Where there's discord, let me bring union. Where there's falsehood, let me bring truth. Where there's doubt, let me bring faith. Where there's despair, let me bring hope. Where there's darkness, let me bring light. Where there's sadness, let me bring joy. May I not seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. It is giving that one receives, and is forgiving that one is forgiven. And so at this moment, I want to thank my parents for the love they gave me and the gift of education they instilled in me. And actually, 2 weeks ago, I decided to honor my parents. I'm going to name a scholarship in their honor for students here at Texas State. So students, give your gratitude to them. Be sure to thank your parents for what they've done for you. Parents, be kind and compassionate. Sometimes your children don't do quite everything you want them to do. So find that common ground. So please, as we move forward, students, parents, congratulations on your academic success. Parents, friends, you are part of the student success here. And going forward, may the bonds of love, empathy, compassion forever guide you forward, both in good times and in bad, in moments of sorrow and in moments of joy, such as today. So on behalf of the faculty staff of College of Fine Arts and Communication, I want you to know how proud we are of you and how happy we are for you. You have earned your way into being a member of the 38th edition of the College of Fine Arts and Communication Council of Scholars. Congratulations.
Well, I did prepare you that he did speak faster than me, and that what sets him apart is his genuine concern for students. Thank you, Dr. Fleming. We now come to the moment you've been waiting for, the presentation of pins and certificates. I'll read the names of our scholars. Our chairs and directors will present certificates. Dr. Fleming will present pins, and Dean Holmes will offer her congratulations. Scholars, please hold your pins until after the induction. So hold on to them. We'll use them then. We will begin with communication studies, followed by journalism and mass communication. I'm going to ask those students to leave in just a moment, but students, listen real quick. This is going to be a test of do you really belong in this council. 2 things. You're welcome to leave all of your items at your chair. You're going to be going back to it, except you do need to take your card with you. So be sure you have your card with your name on it. So at this moment, I invite our students to exit through the back of the hall through that door, and we'll be led around. Mass comm and communications, journalism, mass comm and communications first, and then communication studies. But you can all go together. And
while they take the seat, Candace, if you can just put the first slide up. Students keep on heading out. You guys, I have the math and fill in the gap while they get out there, and then we have to organize them. We used to test them on their alphabet, now we number their cards. So it's a lot easier on that. Because there was one year it was like, oh, it's taking forever to get to do. What we can do is, when your unit is up here, we just have a few little points about each unit during the things like that. You can see that the communication studies are home to two-time national champions in debate. At least 15 students have won a national championship, either the individual or duo competition. There's a career readiness program for the communication studies program. Communication studies hosts our TEDx Texas State University here. The basic course that they teach, COM 1310, has been named the top basic course in the country by the National Communication Association. Their master's program is one of the top master's program in national communication. And if you can flip to the journalism one just briefly while I keep that, because they're getting out there, I can see them getting out there like that. Journalism, you can see again, journalism has 3 national championships in advertising. They won it last year. And just for an example, the year before Texas State won it, UC Berkeley won the national championship. And last year for them to win it, we beat UT, SMU, University of Houston, Texas Tech on the way there. At nationals, we beat Minnesota and North Carolina. We now have the 2nd most national championship of any school in the country in that national competition. We just won our regional. We're going to semifinals in a little bit. This year, our public relations team, the big thing is there's about 60 entries across the country. Last year, for the first time, we made the semifinals of 12. There's only 3 finalists. Texas State got 2 of the 3 spots. They actually had 2 different teams. And so, again, they go for a national title in early May there, along with that. One of the cool parts, our president buys championship rings for these students, 3 teams that win national championships. He kind of said, athletics gets rings, why don't we do it for the athletics? But now he complained to me because he bought mariachi championship rings last year, advertising rings, mariachi one again this year. He goes, you're trying to break him, broke me. And I said, yes, I am. And I hope I got public relations advertising coming after me. We got that. Recent number 7, undergrad digital communication, number 15, undergrad media comm, number 8, college radio station, University Scholars won a lot of awards. Basically, we do a report. The college report is a thing that has all these points of pride in it. And so on the college website, we do an annual college report. And actually, if you go up to Old May, we're completely redoing the college hallway. And some of these different accolades will be up there all along the way as we just kind of keep trying to celebrate student success. Because that is why we are here, is student success. We're really comparing them all. And does anybody have any questions? I'm mapping a little bit, I'm going to wait till they give me the sign that they are ready, because we are at the end of the semester. And anybody who's getting ready to graduate, May or August, you got to be sure to jump into the river. And then students are going to try to convince you parents to join them. I've already talked to them earlier today. And May and August is really quite refreshing. I've done it a couple of times for different reasons. I gave students motivation to help me jump in the river with them, and so I did. I declined December. Because that year it was 37 degrees, and I told them bronchitis was not worth it. But again, does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to ask, just out of curiosity? We have a bunch of end of semester performance and stuff. Are we ready? We are ready. Okay. Without further ado,
we'll begin with communication studies.
Yeah. Question over there. All right.
Jordan Lopez Pinchback.
Hey.
Jalissa Ann Mayorga. Ana Carolina Vasquez. And now we'll continue with journalism and mass communication. Denise Natalia Hidalgo Adamant. Sofia Alvarado. Tristan Renee Amont. Savannah Bradford. Gisela Abigail Cabrera. Lena Cantu. Melissa Duran. Zakaian Renee Elizondo. Reagan Faith Faria. Aiden Farnsworth. Jessica Galvan. Madeline Cuellar Gibbs. Miguel Gonzalez. Emily Huggins. Ava Hartman. Awal Abubakar Hosabel Nobi. Alexia Cole. Abigail Holt. Emma Gray Johnson. Mackenzie Johnson. Helen Rose Taylor. Bora Oyuka. PC Martinez. Caitlin McCurdy. Kelsey Manier. Cameron Brielle Nichols. Jennifer Nunez. Jacob Thomas Kincaid. Kayla Pena. Madison Grace School. Daniel Schwab. Trace Elise. Robert Stevenson. Salil Zubayr. Alexis Faves. Caleb Rose Torres. Orpaz Trober. Laura Walker. LaJonna Watts. Corrigan Isabella Wright. Will Lunt Gonzalez. Victoria Pickett. Now, please welcome Dean Holmes, Associate Vice President for Student Success and Dean of Students.
When I say it's a great day, I want you to say to be a Bobcat, okay? It's a great day. To be a Bobcat. It's a great day. To be a Bobcat. It's a great day. To be a Bobcat. It truly is a great day to be a Bobcat because I get to stand before you as we gather for the 38th Annual Council of Scholars Induction Ceremony, a meaningful and long-standing tradition within the College of Fine Arts and Communication. For nearly 4 decades, this ceremony has served as a formal recognition of students who have demonstrated sustained academic excellence, earning a place on the Dean's List for 3 consecutive semesters. That level of achievement is not incidental. It reflects focus, discipline, and a deep commitment to both your academic and creative pursuits. So first, let me offer my sincere congratulations to each of you. Today is about you, your work, your persistence, and your ability to remain committed to your goals over time. And I want to acknowledge something directly. This has not been an easy academic year, am I right? Many of you have navigated increased academic demands alongside very real-life pressures, such as financial stressors, personal responsibilities, and the ongoing challenge of balancing rigorous coursework with the expectations of your disciplines. In the College of Fine Arts and Communication, your work often extends beyond the classroom. It lives in late nights in rehearsal spaces, studios, editing labs, and production rooms. It requires you to be creative on demand, to receive and respond to critique, to revise, refine, and try again. That level of engagement requires more than intelligence. It requires resilience. Whether you are a performer perfecting the craft, a designer bringing concepts to film, a filmmaker, or journalist shaping narratives, or a communicator learning to influence and inform, you have been asked to show up fully, to think critically, to create meaning, and to take risks. And through all of that, you persisted. You didn't just meet expectations, you sustained excellence. You demonstrated what it looks like when talent is paired with discipline and when passion is supported by consistency. This recognition is not just about GPA. It is about your ability to stay focused when things feel uncertain, to continue producing high-quality work under pressure, and to remain committed to building a future for yourselves, one grounded in purpose and impact. You are not just preparing for what comes next, you are already shaping it. Through your voice, your creativity, and your work, you are contributing to the cultural and intellectual landscape of our communities. So today, we salute you. We honor not only what you have achieved, but how you achieved it, with persistence, with intention, and with a clear vision for your future. Congratulations, Council of Scholars. This recognition is well earned, and it reflects the very best of what this college represents. As you are formally inducted today, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on how far you've come, and to carry this same level of focus and determination into what comes next. Keep creating, keep challenging, and most importantly, keep going. Congratulations once again, and please join me one final time in saying, it's a great day. Yes, it is. Congratulations.
Students, please take out your pens. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Fine Arts and Communication, I am pleased to confirm that you have earned the academic standing of Dean's List for the last 3 consecutive semesters. As such, you have earned the distinction of the College of Fine Arts and Communication Council of Scholars. On behalf of the college, I acknowledge this exceptional academic accomplishment and extend to you congratulations as well. You may now place your pin on your shirt. Well, join me one more time in congratulating our newest members. This concludes our ceremony. We invite you to continue celebrating and taking photos to commemorate this special occasion. On behalf of Dr. Fleming and the entire college leadership team, congratulations and thank you all for joining us today.